Do you ever wonder how to make a woman miss you? Whether it's an ex you want to get back in touch with, a woman who is gradually fading away, or someone you're dating but not yet at that level, the key to making her miss you isn't what most people think. Instead, it's about completely altering your strategy. To start, stop being the fallback option. Positioning oneself as the safety net is one of the biggest mistakes men make. If you're always checking in and sending a casual, "How's it going?" thinking that this will keep you on her mind, you're wrong. Instead, you're solidifying your position as her backup plan. Once she sees you as her backup plan, she won't ever fully respect or desire you, and will start to trust me as the guy she turns to when everything else fails. Nobody desires to be there. Another common error being too obvious. Guys often try to force nostalgia, like bringing up some amazing time they spent together, hoping it'll reignite old feelings. But this reeks of manipulation, and it backfires. It's like watching a cheesy movie where, the director's trying to make you cry. You resist the emotion out of sheer defiance when you attempt to manufacture her feelings. It lowers your value in her eyes, and you come off as desperate. So what's the right approach to make her miss you? Stay tuned. Because it's not what you think. One of the most overlooked strategies is setting yourself up to be missed from the very start. This isn't something you wait to do after she's distanced herself. It's about planting the seeds early on. So how do you make sure she misses you even before she knows it? It's all about creating emotional triggers, the kind that will remind her of you at the most unexpected times. Think of it as an emotional time capsule that gets unlocked later. Whether she realizes it or not, let's start with a simple one. Our sense of smell is closely linked to our memories. So if you wear a certain cologne around her on a regular basis, it will become a trigger for her to think of you whenever she smells it again. However, be smart and choose something different. Familiar enough that she might encounter it in her daily life, but not so common that every guy is wearing it that way. That way, when she smells it somewhere else, her mind will immediately associate it with you. It's a subconscious connection. She has no way out. Another effective tactic is to use jokes to build a shared world with her that is full of jokes or specific references that only you two understand. This strengthens your bond because every time she hears something that brings back memories of those times, she will be instantly transported back to that connection, and the kisser will miss the special way you made her feel that no one else can replicate. Of course, these moves must be made early on. Trying to pull this off after she has moved on may be too late, but for those who are still in the game, whether you're seeing her occasionally or casually, it's never too late to start. Even something as simple as wearing a new cologne can start to rekindle those feelings. You will always have the advantage if you are deliberate from the beginning. The real magic happens when you leave her wanting more, and most guys totally miss the mark. Imagine this. You've reconnected with someone after she started to distance herself, or perhaps an ex finally answers your messages. This is a powerful truth. Knowing when to leave is just as important as knowing what to say. Many guys sabotage themselves by staying around too long, believing that more time equals more connection. There is chemistry, the conversation is flowing, and everything is going well. But what most men do is hang on for dear life in the hopes that it will make her feel closer. This is where they blow it instead of leaving her on a high note. They overstay their welcome and gradually veer into needy territory. This is the harsh reality. You may be ascending that emotional hill and thinking everything is going great, but if you go past that peak, your value will decline the longer you stay. The descent can be cruel in that once flawless vibe is gone, she will begin to show small signs of desperation, and before you know it, all the attraction you have built up is vanishing. You must learn how to leave on a positive note when things are going well, because that is when you should end the conversation or hangout. Even if she reaches out, don't let it drag on. Cut it off while it's still enjoyable and exciting so she doesn't feel like she needs more. The moment she gets her full fix, you lose your leverage. The difference between her thinking about you constantly and her gradually forgetting you while you're ahead, and her constantly wondering when she'll receive that next rush of excitement is this easy move, but it's also one of the easiest to mess up. Here's the unpleasant truth. Stalking, especially on social media, is a surefire way to ruin your chances of dating any woman. Let's face it, stalking is about more than just not being creepy. It's also about safeguarding your own sanity and preventing the emotional collapse that results from obsessing over every aspect of her life. To begin with, the moment you begin looking through her social media, you're putting yourself in danger of emotional turmoil. You see her smiling in a photo with a guy, and all of a sudden your mind goes into overdrive. Who is he? Are they dating? Is that her new boyfriend? You will gradually drive yourself nuts by tormenting yourself over something that may signify nothing at all, but that you will make into a full-fledged soap drama in your mind. This mental tailspin is the absolute last thing you need if you're trying to play it cool and reconnect with her. But beyond wrecking your mindset, there's another layer to this. You're unintentionally giving away how much you're watching her. When you know every little detail about her life, like where she's been or who she's with, it's almost impossible not to slip up. You'll casually drop something. Like, so how was that concert last week, thinking you're being smooth? But all she's thinking is, wait, how does he know I was at a concert? Boom, you've exposed yourself as a stalker game. Over the reality is that obsessively liking her posts or constantly commenting does the exact opposite of what you think it does. You're not putting yourself on her radar in a good way. You're solidifying your position as the guy she keeps on the back burner, the one she knows will always be there. You're the safety net, not the main event. If you want to win this game, the key is not to stalk, but to detach. Let her wonder what you're up to, instead of constantly knowing where she's been or who she's with. Don't feed her ego by being the guy who's always watching. Instead, make her realize that you're the one who's in control of your own life. The fourth strategy to make a woman miss you isn't just about mystery and jealousy. It's about playing with her mind without her even realizing it. Let's face it, women can smell manipulation from miles away, especially when a guy is trying to make them jealous. The problem is that most men are far too obvious about it, and it backfires every time. If you start bragging to your ex or the woman you're interested in about how many dates you're going on or how many women are after you, you're not making her jealous, you're just coming off desperate. She immediately knows you're trying to trigger a reaction. And guess what? That only makes her feel like she has you wrapped around her finger instead of making her jealous. You've just reminded her how much control she has over you. How can you do it correctly if the mission failed? It's easy. Be enigmatic and publish just enough information about yourself on social media to pique her interest rather than sharing every single detail. For instance, instead of posting a group photo of your boys or a selfie at the club with a random woman, post something ambiguous, like a picture of two glasses at a table or a beautiful concert scene with no other people in the frame. She will see that and wonder, wait, who's he with the mystery eats her up inside? Women are wired to fill in the blanks. When she is unable to figure it out, her mind begins to play tricks on her, asking whether he is happy without me or with another woman. The less she knows, the more she will want to know. Another important tip is to avoid giving too much away. If she asks you what you did last weekend, be vague and say something like, "Oh, I had a great time skiing," but don't reveal who you were with. She will wonder if it was a date or just a friend. This is where the controversy arises. Many people will tell you that it's improper to play games and that you should be honest and forthright. But here's the truth. The hard pill to swallow is that in the world of romance, being too predictable is the death of desire. If she never wonders what you're up to or who you're with, she won't miss you. Forget the cliches of posting thirst traps or flaunting your social life. Instead, keep her guessing. The less she knows, the more she'll crave your presence. And that's how you make a woman miss you, all right. Mystery and a little emotional tension are what keep the attraction alive. Let's go on to the last tactics, which is where the magic happens. We've discussed jealousy and mystery, but now it's time to step up the ante with competition. And this is where things get wild. 5. The truth is that most people won't tell you that a woman won't miss you unless she feels the need to compete for your attention. If you're always available and waiting for her to text or call, she'll sense it and won't feel the need to pursue you. But when she sees that you're busy, not just with work, but with something exciting, like a new hobby, social group, or even a new flame, she's going to feel the pressure. Suddenly, you're not sitting at home depressed on a Friday night. You're out living, and this sets off a primal reaction. Women want what they can't have, and it will drive them crazy if they discover that their lives are going well without her. You're not that guy waiting by the phone or stalking her on social media anymore. Instead, you're out skiing in the Swiss Alps with a new group of friends, and now she's vying for attention once more. That's how you get her attention, and she'll want you even more when she realizes that she might be your fallback option. 6. Be a different man, and this is the best tactic for the sixth method. Women expect certain behaviors, especially when they have previously held power over you. To change the script, you must alter the story, start disobeying the invisible rules she has put in place, stop responding right away, stop giving her your full attention, and most importantly, start living for yourself. You can also improve your appearance by shaving, growing a beard, dressing sharply in a suit, and changing your appearance if you were always in casual attire. You've changed, and now she's the one who must figure you out when you show up acting and looking different. You're not the same guy she knew before. Your unpredictable nature makes you interesting, and that intrigue will cause her to miss you and begin to wonder what else has changed about him. 7. Get rid of small errors. Lastly, and this is a game changer, get rid of the small errors that are destroying your prospects. Because they have been doing it since high school, most guys unconsciously fall into patterns they find attractive, but these behaviors are hurting you. Examine your habits carefully. Are you too eager to please, too quick to text back, or always agreeing with her? These small errors give away your power. The solution is to take a step back and stop contributing to the dynamic that gives her a sense of control. If you like this, please subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you want to hear next. Your feedback feeds the fire, and I promise that the next video will take things to a whole new level. Introduce competition, be different, and get rid of those sneaky mistakes that are keeping you stuck. Do this, and not only will she miss you, but you'll become the guy every woman wants but can't quite figure out.